Welcome to Meet in the Middle Movies. I'm Mindy.
I'm Elin.
And we're that bald couple at the cinema here to discuss in our spoiler discussion for The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell. If you saw our non-spoiler review yesterday, then you saw that we both really liked this movie a lot. I might have liked it a little more than Elin, but we're
gave it the same
kind of
score,
in the
though.
same. That's right. That's right. I think just the way we talked about it, I don't know. I might have enjoyed it a little more, but I don't know. So just to get kind of into some of the finer plot points. So at the beginning of the movie, you see Glenn Powell's character and you get the sense for the world that they live in. It's kind of this not too distant future dystopian situation that feels a lot like, I don't know how to describe it. It's futuristic for sure. It's kind of a dark and grimy world as well, and they live in like the low-income area of a city.
It doesn't feel futuristic, unrealistic. It feels futuristic and very easily could be our world.
Like it could totally be 30 years from now.
Yeah.
You know, it's very much so like that. And they took our technology now and kind of developed on it and let us see an imaginative view of what this could look like for the rich people versus the poor people, and just a larger income disparity in city centers and everything than we even have now, and we have a pretty bad one now, but it was really interestingly set up. It was really, really good world building, in my opinion. And so his character is trying to get better work. You get the sense he's been trying to do this for years, and he's got a little toddler who's sick, and his wife, works long hours and everything. So long story short, he gets enticed to join this game show called The Running Man, where essentially his family would be set up for life and then some, right? Money-wise and everything.
The exact situation is you get $1 billion if you survive for a month, but they broke it down to where if you survive for a week, your family is set up for life.
Yeah. So at first he's very no, and then it gets him, and they appeal to what I think would appeal to any loving parent, or even just spouse, in that situation. And so right away they kind of hook you into caring about his family and that character. Because
let's be frank, this is spoiler discussion, so we can say it. The stakes here are life and death. His little infant daughter will most likely not make it through the night if they don't get her the medicine that they need. It's like some really bad flu, basically. Yeah,
it's a flu, but it's been going on too long, and they can't get their hands on good medication, and she's only like 2 or something.
So he gets like a signing, they entice him ultimately with a signing bonus to where he can get the money like immediately to his wife and daughter. Yeah.
So right away you're kind of drawn into this family, and I think anybody with a heart is connected to the character. And we also see how the rich people live versus the poor people is a big theme of the movie. And, it's the oligarchs versus everybody else. And so it's a really, really interesting, I think, relatable story. So one of the things that I loved about this movie, I thought the pacing was great and the balance was good. And it was just fun and exciting, I also enjoy, and maybe it's because I see Elin as this personality a little bit. I don't know if he's shown it on camera, but he's a little bit of a lovable grump. I think I am a little bit of a sucker for that character, and part of what drives this guy is just how angry he is at the world. And so I enjoy a hero who, male or female, I just enjoy a hero who is so done and so bitter and just ready to absolutely wreck shop.
Shit.
And he does this here. So, and I've been talking about it a lot. Go ahead with some of your...
One thing that they do in this that I thought was really interesting was, and I have not seen the original one. I know it's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and the big Easter egg is that he's on their money. So that's kind of your callback to the original. But I don't know if they do this in the original or not, but they invent these backstories for each of the contestants. There's 3 of them, and his is like, they all paint them as they're too lazy to work, so this is how they get their money.
The game show he enters does this. The network does this.
So they all paint them as lazy ingrates and like, oh, you don't want to work, you don't want to, and it's very kind of reminiscent to how some people kind of paint people who are in really, really bad, unfortunate financial situations.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
I hadn't thought of that. That's a really good point. It's kind of the story, I think, that the rich people tell themselves, right? Well, why don't you just get a job? Well, it's a lot more complicated than that. Many times they are trying to get a job.
And this is coming from two people who are full-time employed. I mean, it's not
That's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, it is sometimes as simple as getting a job, but it's more than that. It's more than... They basically paint him out to be a lowlife who abandoned his wife and his kid, and he refuses to work. When really the story goes that he was blacklisted from working in his field because he stood up to either the company or whatever it was.
They were exposing employees to radiation.
Yeah, and he stood up to him and said, this is wrong.
Yeah.
And they didn't like that, so they blacklisted him from ever working again. And that's why he's so desperate. He's been watching this, the network that owns the country, basically. This network has no bones about it, owning the country. And he's been watching it and keeping track of, okay, this is the least amount someone made today. I can go on this show and do it. Little does he know, when he goes and auditions for these shows, they assign what show you're going to go to. And they assigned him to the one show his wife asked him not to go on, which is The Running Man, because no one has ever survived that show.
Yeah. And it makes sense. I was surprised at myself for being surprised that the network paints this character to be such a bad guy. Of course, they would have to do that to create their story, because they want to make it appealing to everybody and their dog to turn him in when they see him, or even kill him
himself. Yeah.
And so it's this thing where they draw the audience in. And it felt like reality TV on steroids, you know? So like Elon said at the end of the movie, adult Hunger Games, different, you know?
Very much.
But getting the whole world in on the arena.
Yeah.
And it was kind of sick and twisted, but a very interesting concept.
Josh Brolin has a very minor role in it as the main bad guy. He was very good.
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo was very good. The supporting cast doesn't have a lot to do because, as I mentioned in the non-spoiler review, this is Glenn Powell's movie. Nothing goes on the screen without him. Like, he is on the screen almost 100% of the time in this movie.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was really cool that really made it feel modern and lived in this world is that there's a character who's basically a truth sayer to the people, and he's a YouTuber, basically.
Yeah.
Like, he's like pulling up the receipts and the evidence to prove these conspiracy theories and things like that.
Yeah, that the network's just been telling lies about all these people. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know we don't want to make these things too long, but I do want to comment on one more thing in this movie, and of course if you have more. But I really loved the way they took the stakes. They made them so high, but then they also demonstrated how the main character both plays the game and refuses to play their game. It's really cool. He kind of outsmarts them, but along the way you never know if he's outsmarting them or if they're, if they have the upper hand. So it's this constant battle of who has the upper hand, and the way they show that to the audience was really fun for me. I liked that, I didn't know when he was winning and when he wasn't, almost. But of course he kind of outsmarts them at their own game, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's going to do it for our spoiler discussion.
Okay, very good. Next week, we're going to be seeing
Wicked for Good on one day, and then opening day we're going to get to go do Zootopia too. So
yeah, stay tuned.
We'll tell you all about that posting schedule. It's going to be typical for Wicked. It'll be typical with spoiler or non-spoiler out of the theater short, right out of the theater on Sunday, and then on Monday the non-spoiler, and on Tuesday, a week from today, the spoiler discussion. And then for Zootopia, it'll be a little bit different. Wednesday night we'll have the out of the theater reaction short. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, we'll have the non-spoiler, and then Black Friday we will have the spoiler discussion.
Very good. You stay bold, we'll stay bald, and we'll see you next time.